This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and get the latest from Alpena Community College with Dr. Don McMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first two guests today are both from Alpena Senior Center. I have Annie Hepburn and BJ Sander. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Nancy. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for being here. Now, in January, you had your big fundraiser, Denim and Diamonds. How did that go?
It went very well. We tried some new things. We had live auction, silent auction, and a Chinese raffle this year. So those were new. Some of them were new, and that helped increase our profit, and it was great.
Yay. You know, BJ, I always talk about two businesses or two places in our community, the Boys Club and the Alpena Senior Center, and I liken the two of you because when you get close to the Boys and Girls Club, if it's near dinner time, the smells come out and you can hear the laughter of the children out on the sidewalk. And the same thing with the Senior Center. I hate to go there around lunchtime or dinner time because it smells so good. It makes me hungry, and you can hear the laughter of the people that are there enjoying the congregate meals.
Absolutely. When I left the Senior Center today, all I could smell was chocolate cake in preparation for our Valentine's meal tomorrow.
Oh, yes, 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 yes.
Yes. And we haven't had much laughter lately because we've been closed because of the weather, but when we are there with the seniors, everyone has a good time. We've always got something going on there.
You truly do. You always have things going on. And Annie, one of the important things that you do are the congregate meals and the Meals on Wheels programs.
Yep, that's one of the biggest services that we provide. We provide about 74,000 meals a year.
Amazing.
With both of those meals, the Meals on Wheels that we deliver to the homes, and then the congregate meals, which helps for the socialization within the center.
And you know, the Meals on Wheels only isn't just the wonderful food to eat. It's a person coming to see you and check on you, a person checking to make sure that you're safe and sound, a person making sure that you're eating the food that you have, all of those wonderful things that go with someone coming to your home.
Right, yeah, and we do the wellness checks is what you're referring to, and making sure, you know, there has been times that they don't answer their door, so we have called 911 and, you know, they've been unresponsive or just have fallen and couldn't get up, so we got them help. So it's the wellness, it's the compassionate check for them, and the friendships that they develop. And many
really
of those
do.
people don't have connections all week, so
Yes.
they look forward to us.
And now your big drive that you're doing is Ken's March for Hunger. Tell me about that.
So Ken's March Against Senior Hunger is an annual fundraiser we do for our food programs, our meal programs. And it's named Ken's March Against Senior Hunger because one of our drivers last year unexpectedly passed away, and so we want to keep his memory alive. He had a strong connection with many of our seniors. They loved looking forward to him, and so that's why it's named Ken's March, to keep that memory alive for Ken and to raise funds for our meal programs.
So how do we participate?
So we are kicking it off tomorrow at our lunch and dinner meals for our Valentine's Day meals, and we have packets available where people can just get donations. People can drop donations off at the Senior Center. There is a tab online on our website that they can also donate there, and all donations will go towards our meal programs.
Okay, wonderful. And BJ, as we said, that's only one of the small things that you do at the center. The other thing you do is you have a wonderful support group for grandparents who are raising their grandchildren.
We do. We realized, I would say probably at some point in time last year, that with what we do with our kinship program, which Annie does a lot of that we needed to do something in addition to that to offer support to all of the grandparents that are raising their grandchildren. When you look at the statistics, 2.5 million grandparents are raising their grandchildren in their homes. You know, and I'm always doing research, trying to find information about things, and with this one, I don't have to look because every time I turn on the TV, they're talking about the opioid crisis and what it's doing to the grandparents that are actually being forced to raise, or not being forced, that are making that decision to do that rather than to put them in foster care.
You know, I think everyone can think of a grandparent that's raising a grandchild. I know I had lunch with a bunch of ladies that I went to school with, and out of the 6 of us, 4 of them were raising their grandchildren, and most of them were for substance abuse issues.
Yes, yes.
And you know, no matter what the reason is, going from being a parent to a grandparent's supposed to be hug them, kiss them, love them, spoil them, and send them home. And you know, at the end of the day, when you're 65, 70, 75 years old and you have teenagers and young people, that's a lot of pressure and stress on a family.
Absolutely, and not only just on the mental stress, it's the financial stress, because how many grandparents are actually living on a fixed income?
Yes.
And you know, I just heard an article on TV the other day where grandparents are raising their grandkids, and he's got terminal cancer. They exhausted all of their savings that they had, doing the best that they can to raise 3 grandkids.
You know, what's a mother's greatest fear? That something's going to happen to you, and who's going to take care of your children? Well, imagine that grandfather thinking about that too.
Oh, absolutely. So we chose to start a support group, and we did get a grant through the Women's Giving Circle, which was absolutely wonderful of them to grant us those funds to do that. And it's called Hopeful Journey. So that's a year-long series that Annie and I worked together and developed to offer support to women 55 and older raising their grandchildren.
Okay, so what kind of things do you talk about in the group?
Well, we're working with a book, and I brought the book with me today. It's called Courageous Love, and this talks about 3 different healing circles assisting grandparents in raising their grandkids. Just an amazing book that we're going to be working with throughout the year-long series. Plus, we'll be offering guest speakers coming in talking about any situation that their grandparents feel that they need assistance with, such as legal, medical, online issues, kids going online. And
all
yes,
those good
yes,
things.
absolutely.
So how can people participate?
Call us at the Senior Center, 356-3585. Either Annie or myself can assist with them on that. We do meet the 3rd Tuesday of every month at the center at 1 o'clock.
Okay, and Annie, during inclement weather, the Senior Center is closed if schools are closed?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So, but call ahead in advance before you go. Congregate meals are what time every day?
4:30 right now, 4:30 to 5:30, 11:30 to 12:30, and then 4:30 and 5:30 to 5:30.
And the suggested cost for seniors is?
$3.50.
Okay, and we want to encourage seniors, if you're nervous about going for the first time, bring your family, bring your children with you. It's just a little bit more money for someone who's a little younger. Bring them, have an enjoyable meal, and get them acclimatized to the center. And I bet you you won't need to come with them the second time. Everyone is so warm and friendly, and it's a great place to go.
Thanks. Yeah, and I mean, if they're feeling nervous, please touch base with BJ or myself, and we will be happy to sit down with them so that we can help them understand what the Senior Center's all about and the services we offer.
We do that quite often.
Okay, very good. Thank you both so much for being here.
Well, thank
I
you.
look forward to hearing about all kinds of wonderful things and the success against Ken's March Against Senior Hunger.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please stay tuned. I'll be right back following these messages. Hi, welcome back. My last guest today is Cindy Johnson from Huron Humane Society. Hi, Cindy.
Hi, Nancy. How are you?
Good. I'm very well, and I know things are crazy busy. And how are things going with all this cold weather out at the shelter?
It's going well. I know that currently there are animals out there in the community that may need shelter. If you see those animals, please offer them shelter, food, water to get through the cold snap again.
Yes.
We have taken in some of those animals at the shelter as well, but it's going to take everybody to keep them safe.
It really does, and people just have to realize, you know, if you're cold, your animal's probably cold.
That's right. That is right.
And water's so important.
It is important, and they also need more food. Their body takes more energy to keep warm. So
Burn a lot of calories in the
yes,
cold.
Yes, they do. Cats and dogs. So
Okay.
yeah.
And cats, I'm sure we have a few cats to adopt.
Yes, we do have cats. We've actually been adopting a lot of cats. So we've been taking them in, and we've been adopting a lot
Great.
of cats. We partner with PetSmart, so we take cats over there too. So we bring them in and we move them out. So, but we still have cats. We always have cats.
Okay, and foster programs are a wonderful way for people to try out an animal at their home too.
Yes, it is. We do foster programs. We've kind of tailored the foster programs to fostering animals, either cats or kittens that we need help with, or an animal that's injured that we need help with. But people can always take an animal home, adopt it, take it home, and they have 10 days to bring that animal back for a full refund if it doesn't work out. It's difficult to foster an adoptable animal because it takes them out of the system for somebody else to adopt, but it also becomes a legal issue of whose animal it is. So we have to watch those things. But it's still adopting. You have 10 days to bring the animal back. If something didn't work out, you can bring them back for a full refund.
Okay.
So,
And so how do we adopt a cat or a kitten at the Humane Society?
you can put an application in online through our webpage or through our, you can't through our Facebook page, but through our webpage you can put an application. You can come out to the shelter and put in an application. Even if you're just thinking in the future you want to adopt, maybe not right now, you can still put in the app. It can be on file so that when you're ready you can say, oh, this is the cat I want, my application's in, and let us know. But yeah.
Okay. And do we have any dogs right now?
Oh, yes, we have dogs.
Okay.
Yes, we're filling up with dogs. And we have 4 more coming in tomorrow, too. We have some really, really nice dogs right now.
What breeds?
They vary. We have a couple of terriers, smaller terriers in right now that just came in. They were an owner surrender. The owner has terminal cancer, so they were brought to us. It's kind of sad, but they're really good dogs. So if you're looking for smaller dogs, we have those. We have dogs that range from 30 pounds to 75 pounds. We do have a hound in right now, Gomer.
Wow.
He is an absolutely wonderful dog. So if there's any hunters out there looking for, he has a nose on him, and he's about a year old. So he will be trainable, and he's absolutely adorable.
So what do we have to do to adopt a dog?
Same as a cat. You just put in the application. They're on the website at the shelter. Come and visit and pick out one.
Yay, and how about Retail's Boutique?
Retail's Boutique, we were getting some new items in, so spring-looking things, bright colors, so it makes me feel good. But Retail's is open the same hours as the shelter to the public from 11 till 6, Tuesday through Sunday.
Okay.
So come on out and shop. It helps to support our mission.
And volunteers?
Volunteers. We can always use volunteers in anything, whether you want to work with animals, help with a project at the shelter, if you're talented in woodworking or putting in floors. We actually have our dog intake. The floor has probably seen its better days. If anyone wants to tile that floor or has that talent, we could use that. We're doing a couple of office projects right now. The offices needed the floors done. They grind down the cement and then seal it. We're having that done in both of the offices. We're going to be putting on a fresh coat of paint and get those all spruced up. But we just have projects at the shelter. We always can use people to help with the animals as well.
And I know as hard as it may seem to believe, people do like to do laundry. So if you like to do laundry, do we have a job for you?
Do we have a job for you? The machines are going from the time staff comes in at 8:30 in the morning until they leave at 6 o'clock at night. And we have 2 washers and 2 dryers that go nonstop.
They do. I've been there before and watched them. It's like a mountain. They take it out, throw it in the dryer, and I think, wow, that's really good. And then I look, and there's still a mountain.
There's always a mountain. Yes. Staff does a really good job on keeping the mountain to a minimal, but it's nonstop.
And before we run out of time, I want to make sure we mention your upcoming fundraiser.
We have the gala coming up. We've moved it out into April to try to get away from some of the weather. So it's April 6th. There'll be upcoming updates on that. Watch our webpage, our Facebook page. We'll be looking for donations for that. We've already got some really cool stuff in. I'll talk about it at a later time that have come in. But yes, so that's in full planning mode right now. Yay.
So if you're a chef, why not donate a dinner for 4 people at their home?
Exactly.
If you're a woodworker, build something that would sell. If you are an antique collector, donate an antique. If you have a service that you could provide, like window washing or cleaning service, if you live on a lake and have a cottage to rent or you have a boat for rental, make sure there's so many ways and different things, and people will bid on those items.
Yes, and it all helps the society. This is our biggest fundraiser of the year, so it's important. Every donated item goes directly to the care and keeping the society open. So it's really, really important to us.
It is, and if you have dog beds and blankets and towels and fabric softener and all those wonderful things, you can use all of those donations too.
Always, always. This time of year, everyone has a sniffly nose, so we can't seem to keep enough Kleenex in the building, paper towels, laundry soap, bleach, all of that. Yes, constant need for that stuff.
And if somebody had a big load of something, they could contact the Humane Society. You'd pick it up.
Yes, we would. Yes, we would. And if anyone wanted to do a drive for any of those items, call us. We will promote it, set it up, and we would appreciate that.
Okay. Well, I just want to thank you so much for taking wonderful care of all of the animals, and keep up the good work, and I look forward to coming out and checking out the animals. It's hard because they all say, pick me, pick me.
They do.
They really do, so they do.
They do. Thank you so much for
Thank you,
everything
Cindy.
you do for us.
And I'll look forward to talking to you next month and hear some more exciting news about the gala.
Lots.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please stay tuned for Dr. Don McMaster following these messages.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Dr. Don McMaster. I'm president of Alpena Community College, and I'm pleased to have as our guest this morning Dr. Carol Walczak, communications instructor at ACC, and also the leader of the Language Society.
That's right. Yeah.
So,
hello, Don. How are you?
Great to have you. It's been a hectic morning. We called school off again,
Yeah.
and thank you for braving the elements and coming here. I appreciate it.
Well, you're welcome. It's my pleasure to be
Yeah.
here. Actually, my honor. Thank you for asking me.
Wonderful. So tell us about the Language Society and what it is and what your plans are. They're pretty neat.
Thank you. Yes, about 4 years ago, we started a group. Actually, back in time, we started a group called La Société Française because I was just teaching French at the time, but it's expanded now because we have a number of languages at ACC. We have German, Spanish, French. We used to have Latin. But what really prompted me to do this was to get students involved more in culture and a bit of diversity. So as you well know, we went to Europe 2 years ago, and that was a great success, lots of community support. And at that time, we had about 6 members of the Language Society. Now we have about 3 times that many students. And this year, we're planning a trip to Europe. We're going to the Central European cities. So we are going to some place that's probably near and dear to a lot of people's hearts. We're going to Krakow, so we're going to be in Poland. And I have this way out of order, but we're also going to be going to Prague, Budapest, and if we have time, we're going to take a pit stop in Austria, you know, because we can.
Wonderful.
Yes.
I'm envious.
I think it's going to be a fabulous trip. In addition, we have 2 instructors, Dr. Vysotsky and Beverly Banks, who's our nursing instructor, who are also going in part of the fundraising efforts and so on and so forth.
Wonderful.
And, yeah, it's been just great to see so much interest in these students. So we have 11 students going and 14 total this time.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
You had presented on this topic at a recent board meeting, and you were referencing some of the international composition of the Language Society, which most people in Alpena might not think it would exist. But could you speak to that a little bit?
Absolutely. In fact, we have 4 non-native speakers this time around. Well, we have Musa Kaba, and I hope I haven't destroyed his name, but yes, he's from Liberia, and his English is quite good, but of course it's got a distinct pronunciation. We have Yuki Nishibashi from Japan, and we have Mary and Rooney Demikral from Turkey. And they've said, please come and see us when you're in Europe.
Oh, very neat.
But that's just incredible for us because personally, as an instructor, I get to use them as points of reference for how do you do things in communication in your country, and students are really fascinated by having that kind of input.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's such an important life lesson for some of our students and for all of us.
Absolutely.
I can recall the journey 2 years ago when the students left, and in the 2 weeks later when they returned, the transformation in their understanding and conception of how big the world is and how small it is in some ways.
Small, yeah.
Yes.
And they're all still in touch, which is interesting. They have a chat in which they get on, and we all get together and talk about the trip, and they have bonded in a way that probably might not have happened otherwise. But yeah, some of them said it was a life-changing experience.
Yes, I heard that.
Yeah. This new group, it was quite good. We have a couple of presidents, just because student scheduling doesn't always permit us to meet at the same time. So we have 2 presidents, 2 vice presidents, but everybody gets a title, and they're all been part and parcel of this. If I may, one of the interesting things that we're doing is our buildings and grounds. I'm sorry, I'm not sure exactly of Nick Bragy's title.
Facilities director.
Facilities director. He's been great because he's given us, I just approached him, I said, do you have any old furniture? And he said, yeah, we have stuff we're just going to trash. So we've gotten all these old filing cabinets and tables and things like that from ACC, and the Language Society is painting them and refurbishing them. So in effect, we're really making use of, or we're upcycling some stuff that we're going to hold a silent auction for. And I'm directing the ACC Players in the spring. In a couple months, we're going to be doing a play, and the group is also acting. The Language Society is working in coordination with the ACC Players, and we're putting on the play together.
Wonderful.
It's really a nice experience. So many students, and they're all just thrilled to be a part of this. It's great. It's
That
really
is
nice.
great.
Yeah.
That is a wonderful thing.
It's so wonderful. And I told you before, too, we have Rosetta Stone now because of a very generous emphasis on learning grant. We have Polish and German and Greek and Latin and Japanese, which is a big thing. And we're working to get special booths so people can come in and use the Rosetta Stone software and just practice on their own. And we even bought English for some of our local non-native speakers.
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah,
you
very
know, it's a
thoughtful.
nice source.
So, Carol, we have about a minute left, and I'm curious, as an instructor, a long-term, highly regarded education professional, what's your sense for, or what motivates you, or what do you like to see, or what have you seen from this activity with the Language Society and the trips?
Oh, okay. From a learning standpoint, what's really nice is the introduction of languages and saying, okay, we're going to try to study this language this time. But in general, motivation. Students are highly motivated to do fundraising with bottles and things that they might not do, and that's so great to see them, because I know being a student is hard. You don't have very much money a lot of times, and you're on a budget, so that's nice. I see that, and I see a willingness to cooperate with each other because they're part of a team, which is that's what we're there for, to teach a bit of collaboration, and I appreciate that as a communication instructor. Otherwise, I love to sit back and watch them during our meetings discussing, we're going to do this, we're going to do a Mackinac fudge drive, or it's just great to see them take the bull by the horns.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That is inspiring.
It's really impressive what they're doing.
And thank you for your efforts in that regard. Thank you, folks, for watching Talk of the Town. Support the Language Society trip. If you have any returnables, well, they'll take them. And thank you for watching Talk of the Town. We'll see you again next week.
This has been Talk of the Town with your host, Nancy Smitham and Dr. Don McMaster. For a list of community events taking place in Northeast Michigan, please visit our website at wbkb11.com and click on our community link. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.